President Obama is urging Congress, in his words, to do the right thing as the Senate now appears on track to hold new gun control votes after a dramatic Democratic-led filibuster. Senator Chris Murphy ended his nearly 15-hour marathon once he got promises from Republican leaders that they'd move toward votes on two measures, but there are right now no guarantees anything will actually get passed. Senator Murphy of Connecticut is joining us here in the Situation Room. Senator, thanks very much for coming in.
Sure, thanks for having me.
Will there be two votes early next week?
There will be two votes. It looks like Monday night or Tuesday morning. We'll have two votes, one on closing the terrorist loophole so that individuals who are on the terrorist watch list cannot buy guns, and the second one, expanding the reach of background checks so that they penetrate not just sales at bricks and mortar stores, but also these online sales and these gun shows where today about 40% of all gun sales are happening. The reality is if you want to stop a terrorist from getting a gun, you have to first make sure that those that we know have terrorist connections are on the list of those that are prohibited, but then you have to make sure that those lists are sitting not just in gun stores, but in all the other forums where those would-be potential terrorists are trying to buy a dangerous assault weapon.
So there are 54 Republicans, 44 Democrats, 2 independents who caucus with the Democrats. How many votes will be necessary, a simple majority of 51, to pass this legislation, or 60?
Well, it's of deep frustration to many of us who want rules reform in the Senate that this is going to be another 60 vote requirement.
Do you have the 60 votes to pass either of these two measures?
I think I'm skeptical that we have 60 votes to pass the
so
background
all this
checks
has been
measure.
For naught?
No, I'm skeptical that we have the 50 votes to pass the background checks measure.
60 votes.
60 votes. But we may have 60 votes to pass the measure that makes sure that people who are on the terrorist watch list cannot buy guns. That is a non-controversial issue in the American public. 90% of Americans believe that if you are so dangerous that you are not allowed to fly on a plane in this country, that you probably also shouldn't be able to walk into a gun store.
So you think you have the 60 votes for that?
I don't know, but I know that in the wake of Orlando, there are a lot of members of Congress, Republicans and Democrats, that are reassessing our laws relative to the ability of would-be terrorists to get expensive and dangerous weapons.
Results of a new CNN ORC poll show that most Americans, 55%, favor stricter gun restrictions, gun laws. That's the highest number since January 2013, which was a month after the Sandy Hook elementary school shootings. Let's bring in CNN senior political reporter Manu Raju. He's on Capitol Hill, where votes are scheduled to start in fewer than 90 minutes. Manu, do any of these measures stand any chance of passing?
No, they don't, Jake. In fact, they're all probably going to go down on a party line vote. What we've seen, a lot of these bills come out, several of these bills actually been introduced and voted on in the past, and they also failed on a party line vote then as well. Now, last week there was some effort to try to cut a deal on a bipartisan basis, but that also failed. Right now, there's one set of bipartisan talks going on, but people are very skeptical that that has any chance of becoming law. So what we're seeing, Jake, is a lot of finger pointing going on Capitol Hill.
For what purpose does the gentleman from Kentucky, Mr. Rogers, seek recognition?
24 hours after seizing control of the House floor, the No Bill, No Break protest is taking a break.
We must never, ever give up or give in. We must keep the faith, and we must come back here on July the 5th, more determined than ever before.
Democrats are ending the sit-in for now, but promising to restart the push for new gun control measures in the wake of the Orlando attack that has brought the debate back to the forefront. Vowing to fight on and threatening to restart the sit-in on the floor after a 2-week recess.
We cannot stop until we get a bill, until law is passed. This isn't about politics, it's not about elections, it's not about campaigns, it's about the safety of the American people.
Meantime, in the Senate, another fight. Republican Senator Susan Collins trying to move forward her bill, seen as a bipartisan compromise to prevent those on the no-fly list from buying guns, getting a procedural test vote, which failed.
Ayes are 46, the nays are 52. The motion is not agreed to.
Pre-dawn today,
And the House stands adjourned.
the Republican leadership in the House adjourned for recess, looking to draw to a close the act of defiance from Democrats in the House. Speaker of the House Paul Ryan today clearly enraged.
This is the people's house. This is Congress, the House of Representatives, oldest democracy in the world. and they're just sending it into chaos.
Blasting the Democrats' tactics and questioning their intentions.
We watched a publicity stunt, a fundraising stunt, descend an institution that many of us care a great deal about. So yeah, I think it sets a very dangerous precedent.
The sit-in on the floor, live streaming on the social media accounts of members, leading to dramatic and at times contentious moments.
Suspected and known to be a terrorist. Why can you get a gun, a machine gun?
Going throughout the night.
I'm cold and I'm tired and I'm hungry. But these are feelings that I'm so privileged to have because so many will never feel that again.
With protests outside and inside, lasting into the late morning.
Oh,